Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Registered Ranching Podcast with Tucker Brown and Willie Wardle.
We're so back.
Welcome back in, dude.
We got to watch what we say. We've got the guest prowling outside the door.
Ooh.
He's listening in.
I'm going to talk trash about him.
So much trash.
Dude, it's cold outside.
It is very cold. And it's kind of cold in here, too.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm wearing my ag gear coat.
I'm glad that you're wearing it, too. I'm glad I'm wearing my Registered Ranching cap. It's keeping the top of my head warm.
Flax.
Because these rocks from the Alamo aren't very good insulators.
No, they're not.
Horrible insulators.
No, yeah, the ranch's heat is actually gone for like 2 days because the natural gas pump froze.
They've been put on ration. They have to keep their houses at a certain temperature and wear layers. But we don't because we're one of 3 people at the ranch that live in town.
Yeah, we're the city kids.
We're the city kids, and I've got nothing wrong with that because the city kids are going to be warm tonight.
We are. We're going to be warm. We're going to have our heaters all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not all the way up. That's expensive, but
yeah,
I'm going to have it up.
I don't like it all the way up, too. Like I like to have it just right.
Just try.
Crisp 70, 69 degrees.
But we got to do some calf tagging this morning.
We did, and it was very cold.
It was very cold. You can see that video on our
YouTube at Tucker Brown RAB or Registered Ranching. We really put it out on the line.
Yeah, or you can look it up on our other social media platforms.
Yeah, it'll be on Instagram,
Facebook,
Registered Ranching.
TikTok's back.
TikTok is back. It was gone for a whopping 10 hours.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe. Anyway, our guest is pretty good today.
It is a very good guest. A champion, some would say.
A champion. Just don't tell him. It'll make his head big.
If he hears
my brother,
champion.
My brother, Lanham Brown, is going to be our he's our guest today. And he and I are a lot of the same, but a lot different. I'm
same, but different.
He's much more comfortable on top of a horse, and I'm a little more comfortable behind a mic.
Yeah. And some people get you guys confused.
They do, especially on our voice.
Yeah. Or in a Dickies arena.
Or in the Dickies arena, which they'll talk about, which we talk about in there. But yeah, did you have a favorite part of the podcast?
Shoot. There was just so much. There was so much. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, don't ruin it. But heckling him's fun. You did do a lot of heckling.
Heckling's fun for me.
It was good to see. Some brotherly love.
Yeah.
He does have one more state champion than you, though.
He does. Yep, he does.
Can you live with that?
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yours was a better win.
We'll go with that.
You didn't have a shoestring tackle.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the pod.
Do I get to check the edits before it is posted?
Do you want to check the edits before?
Yeah, it's up to you.
I probably should.
Which ranch fuel are you going to drink?
How I'm going to look.
Right, there's the first cut. You're not going to like this one.
Which one are you going to drink?
What about that orange cream?
It's cream.
Try it out.
Mitch,
you want one? You want this green one? Come get it, Kibble.
That's it.
It's that kiwi watermelon ranch fuel.
That's the other one I like, man.
Kiwi watermelon? Maybe.
We'll get that whiskey. There's some of that Seagram's left still.
Well, welcome to the show, Lanham.
thank you.
You're going to have to talk into that mic. Yeah, you're going to have to talk into that thing. Willie's got the headphones on, though, so we're good. Willie, we got a
champion
in the house today. Introduce Lanham Brown onto the Registered Ranching Podcast. Dude, why are you so nervous?
Just not used to the spotlight.
Whatever. Shut up. You're just used to the spotlight, just not the mic?
I don't like to talk.
I don't know. I hear you get one of those silver bullets in your hand and you start talking.
Normally ultra.
Ultra? It's blue can.
We can go over to Allsup's and get some real quick.
Yeah.
And now, huh?
Yeah, I guess we can now. Well, yeah, welcome to the Registered Pod. Dude, you like the room?
Yeah, very nice.
Have you been in here?
Mm-hmm.
When?
I've showed him a couple times when you weren't around.
Sneaky
we know
rascals.
we're going to do Cole Snyder the other day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cole was a good one. If you hadn't listened to that one, go back and listen to Cole. But yeah, Lanham, my only sibling, 3 years younger. And I pretty much do everything better besides a lot of things. Like training horses, roping horses, walking horses, saddling horses.
Just living.
Golf. Living.
Who has more state championship rings?
Lanham does.
Didn't mean to bring that up. Sorry. I was just curious.
He's got more.
Yeah.
Who's a better quarterback?
Debatable.
One of us is quite a bit more athletic than the other one. I'll let our listeners guess.
So you just came off a big win at the Fort Worth Stock Show, Best of the West, Ranch Rodeo in Fort Worth. Tell you get to spend a lot of time in Fort Worth in January. Just start there. I mean, you're in Fort Worth for a couple different reasons. What are they?
Yeah, kind of off and running. On the new year, we'll, the Ranch Rodeo this past weekend, and then think about the 10th of February is when the NRCHA Celebration of Champions and World's Greatest Horseman and Trey Sosos Derby all in one. We'll be there for at least 2 weeks, from about the middle of February to 1st of March.
Dadgum, what are you not going to help us get ready for the sale?
Nope.
Just going to leave Willie and I back here?
Yep. Exactly. And then we'll get home and it'll be about horse sale time.
Coming off it will be. What's that, March 10th, 11th on the horse events and 12th on the bull sale.
Yep.
You think your win at Fort Worth Ranch Rodeo is going to help that sale?
I sure don't think it'll hurt it.
I didn't ask if it hurt.
A lot of the, I guess every person that was on that team with us has a horse in the sale, and so I think any time that we can be in the public eye doing well, I think it should benefit it.
Yeah, you came off a dominating win. I mean, I think that's the most dominant win the Fort Worth Ranch Rodeo has had as far as we've looked back. Would you agree, disagree?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of crazy. Everything just clicked, and
it takes a little bit
worked.
of that. It takes a little bit of that luck.
Yeah.
It was just kept working.
Kept rolling. Yeah.
Won how many events?
Of the 12 events over the course of 2 nights, we won 7 of them, and I think we were second in maybe 3 of them. So, yeah, it was good.
Pretty good.
It was good.
Came away with 2 trailers. Well, the McCartneys did. Yeah, for those who we do our rodeo. What do you call it? Selection. A little different. How would you describe how our family rodeos?
So the 4 families being my dad's generation. Dad has 2 sisters and 1 brother, and the rodeo each year for Wichita Falls, the sanctioned WRCA RAB Brown Ranch team that goes to Wichita Falls and then Fort Worth Stock Show. It goes through the families. So last year was, this was Uncle Todd McCartney's last. We went to Wichita for him and Fort Worth, and then it starts with our family. So just each year you get those 2 rodeos, and whatever aunt or uncle or whoever's in charge that year gets to kind of pick whoever they want to from the whole family or whoever's working for them.
We got a pretty good selection of talented cousins.
Yes.
And cousin-in-laws now.
Yep. It keeps growing. Makes it tough to make those decisions of who's gonna go with you.
The best part, maybe not the best part for Lanham. Probably the best part for me was that all of Friday night of the Ranch Rodeo, you got called Tucker Brown in the arena.
How'd that make you feel?
I was just proud to represent well.
I was getting all kinds of texts like, man, you roped the hound off of that, roped the hair off of that one. What horse is that? I like that gray horse. I didn't know you were on the team. It's like, well, thanks, but I'm not. That's my brother, and that's a half.
Confused.
Yeah, that's my That's my full brother, and that horse is a half brother to my horse.
Just said, yeah, it felt good. I missed my slack a little, but it worked out.
Just won the night.
No big deal.
Came away with the triple crown really from that rodeo.
Yeah, Miles was top hand, top horse both. Got some trinkets to come home with, a couple of bits and a couple pairs of spurs and a buckle. And it was a lot of fun. It's always fun when it's going your way, though.
Yeah, winning is fun.
Yeah.
How's your head feel?
It's all right.
Oh well,
Chickens are scattered a little
A
bit.
little bit.
LB got rocked.
Casey and I watched it live.
If your hat came off, Casey might still be laughing.
I don't know. I don't really know how it didn't, but yeah,
It
it was kind of just sitting on top of my head by the end of it.
If you didn't watch the rodeo, Lanham was in the cow milking, missed a loop, the only loop you missed, wasn't it?
Yep.
Only loop you missed of the rodeo. So then Miles roped the cow, and you went straight to the head, and that cow met you halfway with the top of her head, hit you right under the chin.
She sure did.
Boom!
Yeah, and I was.
She straight after?
It was a little blurry for a bit.
A bit blurry.
the camera.
I was
panned
sure
over to
hoping
him.
when I got back up that Cousin Lane was going to be on her head, but turns out he wasn't. You know, he just wanted me to be able to get my revenge on that cow. I was a little slow getting back to her.
You got him.
Yeah.
I just like afterwards it panned over to you and you just had this smile on your face. I don't really know where I'm at.
Bless.
Well, I want to get over to the horse side. I'd say you're mostly, besides being known as Tucker's brother, you know, you're probably known most for your talents and success that you've had in I'm not going to say it right, so don't hate me. In the
Horse show world?
horse show world. There you go. I was going to say horse training world, but in the horse show world would be the right one. Started in 2016, winning on Take a Pick, the stud that we like, that we've used for quite a while. Both my horses out of that stud, winning the. I'll let you say what it was.
Yeah, the AQHA Versatility world on him in the cowboy class. And that was the same year I had my first Snaffle Futurity horse. Went out to Reno, where they used to have the Futurity. So it was cool to get to go out there before they moved it to Fort Worth. Yeah, that was freshman year of college.
2016.
Sophomore year?
Just a pup.
Yeah.
You
It's my
graduated
sophomore year.
2 years before me.
And you've won money between now and then on some mares and on some other geldings and such. But in 2023, non-pro Snaffle Futurity champion, kind of a big deal. Would you say would that be your Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's the one that everybody wants for sure.
Is it the one you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want. Yeah, it'd be all right.
Yeah. I'd be okay with doing it again.
You would. And then the 2024 World's Greatest Non-Pro Champion. Which one's better?
Gosh, I don't know. They're both cool.
It's tough winning so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
I wish.
so tough.
I wish.
I'd say you're mostly known for that. What makes you like the horses so much? Because you and I are different on that part.
Yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy the training part, I guess, you know, and trying to figure out where to get better at every year, and you know, they're all so different and keeps you on your toes and keeps you thinking, and I love competing. I'm very competitive, and so I still get to do that a lot. But yeah, training them all through the processes keeps me intrigued.
So I have some questions from the audience.
Who is it?
I asked a question.
Yeah, I got some questions from the audience. This one you'll know. Who is your favorite intern at the ranch, and why is it Weston Seiler?
Who is my favorite intern at the ranch, and why Weston?
Yep.
I think just because he brings good company with him. She's a sweet gal.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. They eloped.
Doesn't have anything to do with him.
They're married and stuff. Yeah. It's not that. You just good company comes when he's there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Sorry,
eloped.
Weston. You almost had it. What is the biggest challenge when in the show pen?
Biggest challenge. I don't know what the best way to answer that is. It's such a broad question. Cow you draw has a lot to do with what you get done. So
I mean, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Being able to gauge your cow.
yeah, I don't know how to answer that. As far as like,
Just nothing's challenging.
no, all of it.
Just all,
All
of
of
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have a good answer.
No answer there. Who is the coolest brother?
Who asked that one?
I'll let the audience decide.
Cameron Grigg. How has being raised on a ranch helped you in life? How has being raised on a ranch helped you in life?
I think just what you're exposed to from a young age, as far as life and death and the circumstances that are thrown at you randomly, and just having to overcome obstacles that you don't always see coming. You're exposed to that from a very young age, and plan A not working and going to plan B, C, and D, and trying to improvise and get what you need to done.
When are you going to put buck and shoots in the arena, preferably the covered one? Wonder who that was.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but that's a good idea.
That's a good.
That isn't a bad idea.
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
Could be a new EPD. Buck out all the bulls.
Yeah. I'm just
Look at
curious,
all the
like,
bulls.
approximately when do you think you might put some of those in?
I could see that happening somewhere between now and like 2056.
We'll just
Somewhere in there.
We'll bank on your Uncle Todd getting those buck and shoots in.
There you go.
Best advice for those not raised in the cow horse industry but wanting to get into it.
Best advice. I think it depends on what level you're at right now, but trying to find somebody to go to work for, and go to one of those major events, and see whose horses you like, and you want your horses to look like at some point. Make connections and meet people, and don't be afraid to start at the bottom.
Who's some of the main people you learn the most from when it comes to training horses?
I think going back to being a kid, it would have started with George Self.
Mm-hmm.
Dad sent me down to the South Ranch a bunch with him growing up, and just learning the basics, simple stuff, yet extremely important things. It would have started with George, and then after that, I didn't have a whole lot of guidance in high school, which I didn't train much in high school. I didn't ever show or anything. So just tried to figure some stuff out on my own, and then I went to school at Texas Tech and was on the ranch horse team there, and had a lot of good buddies, still do, bounce ideas off of, and the coach there, and then in the summers in college, I went and lived with Matt Cook, and he was at Wagon Hounds at that time, and so I got to go up there and help them ranch in Wyoming, and then Matt let me bring 5 or 6 of my own and help me train on them in the afternoons. And so Matt had an impact there early on in college, and then since then, and I'm going to leave some out because there's been a bunch that have helped me a lot, but I would say Jordan Williams has had a big impact. My cousin Miles, Russell Probert, Park Greason, Kelby Phillips, and then there's a bunch of guys that I've had help me along the way that I've asked questions and always been extremely willing. That's one part I love about the cow horse is the people in it. Always willing to help and lend a hand. So I'm sure I'm leaving. Gary Ray was one that I was in high school that took me to my first cut. So he was another one that had a big impact.
I didn't know he took you to your first cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that?
Yeah. First cutting, I can't remember if it was either in Sulphur Springs or Amarillo. There's a couple right there. I mean, it's a long ways away from each other, but we went to Fort Worth, Sulphur Springs, Amarillo, and Weatherford. He took me to several of them right there at the start. But, those are the people that have probably had the most impact.
So you kind of walked us through there from high school up into college, ranch horse team, came back. So what has been, you've been to a lot of shows, you won a number of big events. Which one of the questions from the audience was you've been in a lot of championships. Which one have you been most nervous for before the competition?
Probably the Snaffle Bet Futurity.
Snaffle Bet?
Finals.
Last year?
Yeah, in
2 years ago.
Yeah. Going in there with the lead for the fence work and just having a shot, which that's what we all hope for. I love getting nervous, so
yeah,
it was fun.
Getting the butterflies.
Yep.
I think it means you're doing something you like.
I think so too.
Anytime you get those. Wheels are turning over there, Willie.
I mean, Lanham and I had a good discussion this past summer. He had me clean stalls with him. I volunteered for it, but he asked me what motivated him more, winning or losing. That's what he asked me.
Oh.
And I think he had a pretty good response.
What did you?
I said I think losing motivates me more because I don't like losing, and you said winning. I don't know.
Would you
have
still
you
answer
since
that the
changed
same? That's a good question to ask.
Well, it was his question.
We're not going to give him that.
I wish I could remember how exactly I responded because I did have a good idea on that.
It was really random too because you were like looking at me for a while, and then I just looked up.
Not in a weird way.
And I was like, you're like, what motivates you more, winning or losing?
Clarification. Whoa, not in a weird way.
He was just staring at me. He was like, what motivates you more, winning or
I was
losing?
probably wondering why you're cleaning stalls the way you were cleaning them.
I was just helping you out for free. I haven't done it since. Get a little criticism, I'm out.
Yeah, how would you answer that now? Do you like winning more or hate losing more?
I think that I try to stay somewhere there in the middle, but I obviously gain more confidence from winning. And like training horses isn't a thing that you can lose at and say, I'm going to go home and work harder. I mean, it is to an extent, but if you've got the consistency of working your horses day in and day out, it's not like you can call on those horses harder every day and it come out beneficial for you. And so it's more of a mental
preparation?
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to run and stop my horse 10 more times than I normally do because I lost that last show. So, I mean, I think winning probably motivates me more because it just gives me the confidence that what I'm doing is working and to go on.
Doesn't add any doubt.
Yeah.
like that. I like
I
that.
wish I could remember how I answered it that day.
I don't remember you saying something about the middle part, but I like that a lot. Because I remember at first, like, I went back and I was thinking about it. And, like, now that you said, like, that confidence factor, I've never showed any horses, obviously. But, like,
Why
as
is
far
that-
as, like,
why is-
bull,
Why is that obvious?
well, I don't know anything about it. I don't. The AQHA is, that's the deal that American.
Willie, we had a mix up there on the board. I'm not sure what happened, but we're back.
Technical difficulties. The haters
Yeah, you were talking about AQHA.
Well, I guess what I was really talking about was like how there's got to be a balance between both of them, because you could be like
Between what?
winning and losing. Because if you just keep losing and losing and losing, and that's what's motivating you is losing, well then you don't even know what winning is. You have no confidence to go off of that. You can keep doing the wrong thing over and over again and never be able to correct it.
Right.
So I've changed my answer now that I've heard you say that. I think you're right. There's got to be a balance between the two.
Well, I think you're always going to lose more than you win, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or something.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes is a bad example.
One more. I got another question from the crowd that I think fits right here.
Lanham was thinking he was about to drop some profound thought.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wasn't. I was thinking about how that semi is going to get diesel right there.
Is he trying it?
Yeah. That's how deep in thought I was.
Dude, I'll do that. He'll ask me, he's like, Willie, what are you doing? It's like, there's a guy in a llama over there at Allsops doing something crazy.
What is different about the horses of today versus the horses of our grandparents' time? And how have you tried to maintain the heritage / strong suits of those horses while incorporating the bloodlines of today to make your horses what they are?
I never did get to ride any of the horses in my granddad's time, but I'm assuming they were a little tougher to train than what we've got now.
Well, let's start there. Talk about granddad's horses. We've been a member of the AQHA for how long?
Since it started,
at the table.
early 40s.
We were at the table, right? I mean, who was it? Great granddad.
Mm-hmm.
That was at the tables and at the table when it started in the early 40s. And we're one of. Mom said that number the other day of how many have registered a horse every year since then, and it's not very many.
Yeah.
But we're one of them.
Right.
And you and Mom kind of head up that deal. But talk about granddad's horses.
Yeah. So George self had a large impact on granddad's. Him and granddad together, kind of headed up what it has turned into today. But there's a lot of, as far as bloodlines go, in the last 25 to 30 years, Eddie has had a pretty large impact on it, and those Eddie horses, a lot of them have, are structurally very sound, good withered, a lot of run, quite a bit of stop, and something that we've gone to crossing them on these modern performance bloodlines to add some more cow and foot speed, trainability, that type of stuff that makes it easier to get them to the show pen. But there's a lot of positives to what Granddad's program was. They made nice ranch horses that went all day and were tough and had a lot of upside to them. But I think they've gotten. What we've been doing now is made them easier to train, maybe a little earlier maturing, and fit the general public maybe a little better. And that may be a bit of a stretch. But what was the question again?
Just about Granddad's. Oh, basically how you mix the performance bloodlines with Granddad's ranch horse bloodlines.
Yeah.
And how they were different.
Right. There's not very many places that I've been to and helped people where I've been on a horse that had that. What's the best way to answer that? I think that mixing the two, like Casino, their own horse. He's a bet, he's a cat out of a Little Twist and One. He's an Eddie Hancock mare that goes back to all of Granddad's stuff. And I haven't been to a place in Texas, surrounding states right here, where that wasn't enough horse.
Where Casino is not enough horse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that he could go to Arizona or Nevada and go 50 miles and catch bulls and load bulls. I mean, I would rope anything in the world on him. But what I'm saying is, what I've done, that's always been plenty of horse. So, the tougher foundation breeding of those horses that go forever isn't something that a lot of people necessarily need today. And so quickening up those feet and maybe a little bit smaller horse is what a lot of people think. I haven't lost much from a function standpoint of getting a job done ranching with those bloodlines. So, the combinations worked pretty good for us. And, Uncle Rob A and Miles, same deal. They've been crossing a lot of the modern stuff on the older stuff and got along. For instance, the one that Miles won top horse on, that's what he is. It's kind of a cross between the two. So it's worked well for us so far.
What's that horse's name? He's got a name for it, for winning.
Royal.
Ranching Royalty, RAB.
Ranching Royalty, RAB.
Yeah. No G on the ranching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ranching.
Is that how you spell it too?
No.
You put a G on it?
We're real G's.
Oh, you did put a G on there. Whoops. How much?
So it's kind of cool. The last 3 years at the Fort Worth Stock Show, we've had top horse, and those horses are modern performance bloodlines crossed on the foundation of what RAB Brown Ranch horses are known for, and that cross. So, kind of neat.
Is there a lot of debate amongst people in the horse world that isn't the way things should be done? Or are most people in agreement that there needs to be a good mix between the two?
Most people, when you tell them what a horse is, they just kind of look at you and laugh and say good luck, that.
When you tell them what the bloodlines are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it's that was more early on. Now they kind of
after you've won a couple
expect
things, they're
us
like, oh.
to show up on
Yeah.
something that's going to be prepared and ready and good enough to compete. But at first, he's Eddie Hancock.
Good luck.
Yeah.
What was their approach to things early on? Like,
Who's that?
just people in general are giving you criticism for using those horses like Eddie Hancock.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say we necessarily got criticism as much as they were just like, oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a first.
Yeah, we've never had the fire siren go off
During the podcast.
during a podcast. Yeah, we're going to pause until that ends.
I got 2 trucks going.
Yeah, they do.
We're back after the fire alarm.
Fire alarm went off. They're headed north. Well, this will roll right in. Yeah, you last 3 years had top horse. What got top Bermuda award at Wichita Falls? When was that? Last year?
It's been a couple years.
Has it?
Yeah, I think so.
Recently. It's been recent. But RA Brown Ranch has not been a show horse ranch for very long.
Right.
Or us showing them anyway.
Right.
And so what was it you and Miles that changed that?
Yeah, I think so. George used to show, we had quite a few horses that went and showed like in the 70s. And then things in the show horse world got a lot more specialized. And we, that wasn't the direction that Granddad was wanting to breed horses. We were breeding ranch horses. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Miles and I were the first ones to kind of get showing, and since then have had other cousins.
Yeah, you got got RA hooked. Lane's
Yep.
Lane showing
Ben.
some. Ben got some in there.
Nick.
Yep. Emily.
Nick and Emily showing some. Yeah, Nick. I didn't realize Nick had just did his first show last year.
Yeah.
If you missed that podcast, that was our last one. Got to go back and listen to it. But that's really changed. I mean, you're able to train RA Brown Ranch horses full time, and we've never had that position available until now.
Yeah.
It's because you're the favorite son.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
We have Casey in the Casey Mitchell is in the peanut gallery, and I still remember when we were in the old cutting pen and y'all were riding double and got bucked off. Casey fractured his wrist or something.
That happened.
Proud of that.
Did you get bucked off too? You stay on.
Back to when they bucked.
No, I've never been known to really get by the bad ones.
My old bloodline.
What horse was that?
Topper.
Topper, that gray horse.
Yep.
I'll be dang. Well, yeah, so I've never really had that position before. Now you're home, training full time, built a covered arena.
With
What made-
buck and shoots.
Not yet.
With buck and shoots.
What made you do the covered cutting pen, not arena?
You know, it was right after. What year was it that it rained so much? I mean, for just like it was never going to quit. 19.
Yeah, I was going to say 18, but I'm
18 or
not for
19.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I think just I don't. You know, we're 2 hours away from capital of horse training in Weatherford, and about 2 hours from anywhere else that there's a few around here, but most of them you have to travel a pretty good ways for, and so
Covered arenas, you're saying?
yeah, and just help or whatever. But I think there's times where you might be during our wet season. There's times you might be out of the arena for 3 weeks, and it's tough to be competitive if, especially in the crucial times of the year when you need to be getting 3-year-olds ready or whatever. It's tough when you're out of being able to ride them other than just outside.
Yeah.
For a lengthy period of time, and so I think that with the combination of being able to put the horse sale in there, it just made sense to put a cutting pin up.
And now, speaking of the horse sale, we've moved. Horse sale used to be, still kind of is, in October during the October bull sale. Used to sell what 10
to 20.
10 to 20 weanlings, halter broke weanlings.
Yep.
And with y'all in the show arena, in the show ring, just not show ring. Would you say show ring in the arena, in the show world, whatever? With y'all doing that, it's added a lot of value to the horses.
Those horse show tournaments.
Yeah, your AQHA tournament.
How much is our lack of knowledge of this stuff annoying you?
I'm used to it.
So moved the most of the horse sale from October to our March event, which is coming up March 10th and 11th. You and Mom and some of the other cousins have changed that quite a bit. We talked about it a little bit with Nick, but how have you and Mom were crucial in changing that and starting a sanctioned horse show tournament just to make you mad.
I think that
RQHA, right? That's who it is by RQHA.
RHAA.
Dang it, dude! I thought I was gonna get some points. It's like, oh, we're getting a step closer to those bucking sheets. Never mind.
Yeah, so the October, that's been our longest lasting bull sale and horse sale. It's gone on for
Just went over 50 years.
50 years, yeah. Is during the Snaffle Bet Futurity. And so for us to go take that next step in producing a higher quality. I don't know if I'd say higher quality is the right word, but the next step in horse sales is more riding horses, more aged horses, and just a bigger event that draws more people, more horse people to it. And so I think that moving it off of the Snaffle Bet Futurity, where me along with several cousins are in Fort Worth, like you kind of said earlier, it's our kind of our Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it for a couple years, trying to run back and forth and do both, but I didn't feel like I did a good job at either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Thanks. So we moved it to March, and we're able to be a lot more involved and produce an event that we're all proud of and we work hard for, and try to do a good job of putting on an event that a lot of people want to come to.
I feel like there's a lot of momentum behind that March event.
Yeah.
3-day event. What does that order look like?
So Monday is the horse show, RHAA sanctioned ranch horse event, and it's one of the RHAA shows of the year that everybody wants to go to. It's a fun family environment that, historically ground's been good, cattle are good, and it's ran off well. We've given good prizes, a saddle to the overall winner, and the RHA, being a smaller association, doesn't get a whole lot of shows like that. So that's drawn a lot of attention from that crowd. So that'll be on Monday, and then Tuesday morning, Gary Belenfant and Corey Pounds are going to do a cutting educational demonstration. We're going to put a big herd of cattle out in the big arena, have turning back guys all around. We're going to mock those guys up and be able to see, how they go about tying a horse to a cow. Gary's a living legend. He's won the cutting Futurity on Pepto Boonesball in, I want to say, 95, and then has been competitive all the way through and won it again in maybe 2019 on Metallic Ray Mink. And so just seeing how solid that program is and hearing what he has to say, I'm really looking forward to that. And I think it'll be an event worth watching. And it's something that, the families tried to do and add to our events is something educational that, almost provide a service to the public of, hey, you can come to our sale, come to our event, you get meals, and, hopefully you leave with more knowledge gained in whatever field, the demonstration is in that year. So that I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be neat to see Gary and Corey go through those horses, and they're going to kind of bring all different levels, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, show horses. So you'll just get to see the progression in those two programs, and I think it's going to be really cool. Following that, we'll go into the sale horse demonstration. We're going to have 35 horses in the sale, and there'll be 3 different kind of ways that we'll demonstrate them. Some we'll go right into the cutting demonstration. So if you, like, I know a couple of these colts that just turned 3 that are, on track for futurities aren't necessarily rolling up and down the fence yet, and so I think we're going to show some of them out of the herd. Probably the same herd, that Gary and Corey were demonstrating out of. So we'll just roll right into that demonstration. We'll have a lunch. Other ways to demonstrate, we'll just give each man 5 minutes or whatever in the arena. You can lope a little reining pattern, show whatever you want to show on that horse, and then kick a cow out, go down the fence, rope, whatever you want to do. And then we've also got some team roping horses in there, and so we're going to have a team roping demonstration.
Oh, heck yeah.
Following that, we're going to have a Calcutta for the class winners from the day before in the ranch horse competition. There's going to be 10 of them, and they're going to run off for Jeff Smith's saddle. Just one fence run, go make 2 fence turns, rope him, and stop him. So we're going to have a Calcutta, and part of that is going to be benefiting some foundations. That's another thing that Granddad was always big on, is some sort of charity donation. So that'll be really cool. And then a couple other little events that, will benefit a couple of different charities. So, what else? Lots for the kids to do. We got a sandbox. It's an event that we want the whole family to come to.
Yeah.
So following that runoff, we'll have a minute for everybody to talk to consigners, talk about the horses, and then we'll get into the sale that evening.
We had another question from the crowd that talked about the sale. What does this sale have to offer that makes it different than any other?
You can't buy one of Lanham Brown's personal horses at any other sale.
I think everything. Gosh.
Oh. Why don't you drink that ranch fuel?
Yeah, he's getting to him.
While you're doing that, just use code Tucker Brown, save 15% off at ranchfuel.com.
Yeah, lower that MSRP.
They're going to be at the sale. Lower that MSRP.
That's right.
Yeah, they'll be at the sale. So will Ag Gear. Ag Gear will be at the sale. Bedrock Truck Beds will be at the sale. And if you want, we might show you the pod room if you ask nicely.
Give me $100, I'll show you whatever you want.
Careful.
Easy.
That's $200.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Seriously, what's so special?
Yeah, what makes
I think
this
everything that we just went through is what all is being provided to the general public.
Mm-hmm.
Educational seminar, meals, lots of people that like-minded people that are good ranching people and horse people that come together and we get to visit. And just being part of a sale that has so much family involved, I feel like it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
We really feel like we can stand behind what we put in that sale and want to be true to buyers and customers that come.
I mean, this will be the 3rd year for this event, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's come a long ways in 3 years. Where do you see it 5 years from now?
Yeah, I don't. I think the quality of horses has gotten better every year, and the diversity of the kinds of horses that you can come by has increased, and so there's a lot of options for a lot of different kinds of people depending on what you want to do. What else?
What?
What do I need to cover there?
I don't know. I just see it. I feel like it's got a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
I feel like more people are wanting to be a part of it.
Where do I see it 5 years from now? Yeah. I think we're on track. We've got a lot of really good partners in this deal that have sponsored the sale that are going to be there and show up, and I think it's just going to continue to gain exposure and grow. And there is growing pains that come with that too. Mm-hmm. We're just a little bit. I wouldn't say we're limited. We are at the moment as far as how big we can make this thing. I don't want it to be something that sells 200 head of horses. I want the quality to be high, more so than just numbers. So yeah. I think the quality continues to build, and the exposure, and I think it could turn into a really, really cool event. I mean, I think it is a cool event, but I think it's going to just keep gaining.
I mean, what is the number of people we're expecting? Something like, what did we have last year? About 400? Probably during that horse event. And then
I can't remember what number we asked
food.
for food on Tuesday lunch. I want to say 500
500?
ish.
It's hard to know.
It sure is.
Got to
Yep.
make sure you got enough toilet paper, got enough paper plates, all those things, all the way up to
All the logistics.
Small details.
all the way
small
up to having
details.
enough places to tie the horses for the sale.
Yeah, and stalls to overnight 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lots of times the weather is nice that time of year here, but it
It's been nasty before.
can be a factor too. The show is in an outdoor arena, so if it gets a 2-inch rain, some get. I'm not saying we need to cover the arena. I'm just saying that we're not.
You say no to covering it?
Yes.
You don't want it covered?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay.
I think we're not bomb proof to everything that could go wrong.
Yeah.
And so, but that's also kind of what makes it a unique event.
Mm-hmm.
They like the atmosphere that comes with being outdoors, and obviously we've got the covered pen where all the vendors will be and the sale will be, so we'll still be able to put on the sale. But I'm just, I think it's a unique event, being outdoor, kind of old school feeling.
Mm-hmm. How here in a minute, I'm going to give you the opportunity to.
I'd probably allow you to cover it if you wanted to.
What?
I'd allow you to cover the arena if you wanted to, I guess.
Oh, you would? If I wanted to. I'll here in a minute, you'll have the opportunity to ask a question. So be thinking on that. What do you got? You got something important over there? Your Instagram blowing up?
Yeah, having some issues with frozen waters at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not very fun. I'm ready for this cold spell to get past.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the cold.
But yeah, you'll.
Oh, those are your heifers, Tucker?
Oh, so it's Tucker's your problem?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Looks like we'll be working on that right after this. What? Yeah, you'll ask me a question here in a minute, so be thinking on that. I get asked a lot of, just through social media, of people wanting to intern for the horse side. You've done internships in the past. You plan on doing any more? Or like hiring interns?
Right.
Uh-huh. A little bit.
A lot of advantages and disadvantages. Right now, where my program is, I'm just saying with the numbers that I have right now. I'm not saying that won't come at a point in the future, but right now, no, I don't need. I've got one full-time person that helps me feed and clean and saddle, and I don't have the numbers where I need more employees at the current time. Mm-hmm. At some point, that could come about again, but not currently.
What do you have? Yeah, now's your time. You get to ask a question. You get to be the interviewer. Put me in the hot seat. Or Willie.
I don't answer questions.
Dang, I gave you time for it and everything.
Hey, why don't you tell us about the horses that you have personally that are being sold in the sale?
Oh, yeah.
You have Ray Lewis. He's out of Kyoto. What is who's his mama?
Ray Lewis is by Kyoto out of a Blue Eddie Hancock mare that we no longer have. He's a 7-year-old gray gelding. I think his mother died just here a couple years ago, so we don't have many left coming out of her. He's a What?
It was just like, yeah, she died a couple years ago, so we really don't have many coming out of her anymore.
We ain't coming up left. Yeah.
I know what you meant. I just thought it was funny.
The mare's dead.
The mayor's dead. Thanks for bringing it up, Willie.
He's a 7-year-old that is a short, stocky, and strong, nice, using gelding. He's a cool-looking Chromie. He stands about 14.2, and I weighed him the other day, and he weighs 1,300. So he's
Big boy.
he's plenty strong enough to do whatever you need to do.
Watch the big fella work.
But he's also easy to get on. And so,
What was that?
Watch the big fella work.
and then the other one I've got in the sale is a pretty unique. He's a 3-year-old stud by a play gun out of a metallic cat mare, and real pretty base stud that could go a lot of different directions. But for like a performance bred horse, kind of combining the old school play gun on the modern metallic cat, that there's not many play guns left around, and so he brings a unique opportunity to keep those genetics and for a ranch somewhere, or would be a very good futurity prospect too. Big stopper. Like I said, real pretty stud. So I'm anxious to see where he goes, and it's kind of unique to have something like that in the offering.
What was the high selling horse last year?
Was it Bunga?
No,
Slick Robinson's horse.
yeah, he brought 40.
40. Bunga brought
37.
Yeah, Bunga wasn't
37.
that far behind.
Yeah,
And then, what was the price range last year? Anywhere from
anywhere from 3,200 to
3,200 was
we
that?
sell the Weenland or Yearland filly. That brought
3,200 to 40,000.
Yep.
What do you think is going to be the high seller this year?
I don't know. We have some more diversity, so there's some of those finished head horses and or rope horses that the market's strong on them right now too. So I think it just kind of depends on who shows up. I don't know what this stud prospect's going to do, and then we've got a lot of gentle ranch geldings that always do well just because they're hard to replace. And finding a horse that's safe for the family is
Pretty valuable.
extremely valuable. Yeah, and they sell well. You kind of get what you pay for, and
What do you think I could sell Snap for right now?
4,500.
I'm sure I could sell. You hush your mouth. 4,500,000.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of like I said. It's hard to put a number on them.
Yeah.
Because those family horses are.
Because the
You
value
don't want to throw your 4-year-old daughter on anything.
on just anything. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty priceless. Pretty priceless. What's one hot take you have about the show horse world?
I don't have one.
You don't?
No.
I don't believe that.
You have no quarrels with the horse show world. That's all you're asking? What's a hot take?
Yeah. Like, what's something he believes that others would disagree with?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You agree with everything they do?
No. But yeah.
I guess you're on the board, kind of.
Next question.
Yeah.
What question do you have for me? Do you have one? For me or Willie? You get the chance to be the interviewer.
What percentage of the people that listen to this podcast do you think will show up to sale day?
%30.
Did you just pull that number?
I did way
Out
out
of your
from
hat?
from way yeah from the other end really. I don't know. I feel like we'd get
Between 0% and 100%. Somewhere in
there.
between there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot that are
feel like
that
you're
listen
right.
to the podcast are interested in the ranch already.
Yeah.
It's not like I have a massive platform on
Yeah.
the podcast. So if you're going to listen to us for an hour, you're probably invested in the ranch in some sort. So I feel like the number is higher than, say, my YouTube followers or my social media or like TikTok followers. That would be a really low number
Right.
percentage
Yeah.
relative to the podcast. So
I'd agree with that.
if you don't follow us on those other platforms, you should,
Yeah.
because you get to watch me make fun of Lanham sometimes.
Yeah, get up on the. You'll see Lanham in some of the YouTube videos.
Somebody's got to. Who's some of your favorite people to compete against?
Favorite people to compete against?
Yeah,
In
in the show
horse
world.
showing?
Oh,
Yeah.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Kind of leads me into something that I think is really cool. Lanham does is getting ready. Is getting ready for the Snaffle bit. What is it for 2 weeks? You have a group of guys come out, and a lot of them you're competing against. Correct? Not all of them. Some of them are in different non-pro and pro. But you bring these people where in most sports it'd be like Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes getting together and practicing together. Like most of the time when you're competing against someone, you're normally like, all right, well, forget you. I'm going to work on me and I want to see you. But you have a different approach to that. You invite these guys that are your friends already, but also competing against. And you told me, well, it's only going to make me better. Like I'd rather be better and lose than worse, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. So you don't mind taking us, like explaining what you do in those 2 weeks and then your mindset behind that, because that's cool.
So I host a little pre-work that, kind of like I mentioned earlier, we're limited on how big we can make it, and I just don't have the room or facilities to host a big one. So it's just a few of us, and we usually get together. We call it a pre-work right before the Snaffle bit, and we're all trying to help each other because it's not necessarily me against the next guy. It's me and this horse against the cow or with the cow. You know, just trying to get it all put together. And so, you can't necessarily go into a show with the mindset of oh, I just want to beat
It's you against Jordan,
this person. Yeah, it's
or you against Mitch.
yeah. It's there's way too many variables in this cow horse deal that you've got to get you and your horse and prelims and finals, 8 different cows to all work together, to make it work. And so I just think the challenge of getting shown is bigger than challenge between
Yes, sir.
guy to guy, guy to girl, however you want to do it.
Right.
You're always learning.
Always learning. Yeah.
I respect it.
Get left behind quick.
Married to the game. Lanham Brown.
Lanham Brown married.
Got
to the
that
game.
dog in him, bro.
Tell us about your wife.
She's pretty cool.
Is that all?
She's
I'm
pretty
happy.
Cool. Yeah, Josie and I have been married for going on 4 years, and have been dating for going on 10 years. So
Dang.
Yeah, you sound old.
That's
I guess
that's more
it's
than half
closer.
my life.
it's closer to. No, it's
That
not.
is. Yes, it is.
not.
You're terrible at math.
4 years and you guys were dating for 10?
No,
More than half your life.
we
Is that what you said?
You were so
no we dated. We started dating in 2016.
Oh, I see
Oh.
what you were thinking.
I thought you guys
So-
started dating like 6th grade.
So it's
I
really
don't know.
we've been dating for we've been together for 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not half my life.
But we met at the,
I thought you were saying 14 and I was like, "Well, I'm not 28."
we met. How old do you think I am?
I thought you
we
guys were
started dating when we were 8.
Yeah, I didn't read the book. I don't know the story.
Freshman year of college in 16, we started dating, and she's been extremely influential in my life, and it's been a blast being by her side.
I wish I had
She's,
the. Oh, but
She's physical therapist, and works in Graham 4 days a week, and extremely hard worker. She likes coming, horse showing with me, and
What did she win the other day?
we make a pretty good pair.
Recently? Did she win something on casino?
Yeah, she's been pretty successful on casino. I guess about a year ago at this time, she ended up third at the World Show in the boxing, with over 100 horses in it. And then she's won classes out in Scottsdale during the Snaffle Bet Futurity. Yeah, she's gotten along good.
Well, I remember when y'all started dating, or I knew when it got serious, because while you were at college, you had a horse called Frito that you just told me to ride, that just needed wet saddle pads. While I was here at home, I'd already graduated and working, and he was your rodeo horse, and just needed to keep him
Legged up.
legged up. So of course you trust Tucker Brown to do that.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows that nobody else asked me to leg up their horses. But he was like my number one go-to horse. Like if I had a yearling that was out,
Bull
or
in the sagebrush.
if I had to get bull in the
There's one you
sagebrush
went
in the
to.
mountains, he was the one I was going to ride. And then you're like, yeah, Josie's going to show him this year. So he's coming to Lubbock. And I was like, your girlfriend? You're going to give this horse to your girlfriend?
Over your brother?
Bro. I was like, this horse is one top horse. And who's been legging him up? Your brother. Yeah, okay. And then, that's I was like, dang, I guess it's getting serious. And here they are.
Married.
Yeah.
So you guys in love?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Willie, are you ever going to be in love?
No.
No.
I'm married to the game.
So, Willie, you have any other questions?
I think I got them all answered here.
I feel like I'm trying to
You feel smarter or
I feel like I'm trying to pull a wisdom tooth.
Undecided yet.
I feel like I'm trying to pull a wisdom tooth to get everything out of him.
There's a lot.
Anything
There's a
else
lot
you
in
want to
there.
talk about? People want to hear you.
Yeah, people want to know more about you.
They just always ask me
the
because they
best
know I
way is-
talk.
Yeah.
Speak with
Just
your
talk.
actions.
Talk to my secretary. No, I don't.
Well, I always like to end the podcast. Do you have with this, do you have a verse that's been on your mind lately, or just one that you like in general, Bible verse?
Yeah, there's several that hit home for me. I guess one that has always kind of stuck with me is Colossians 3:23. It's whatever you do, work at it as if you're working for the Lord, not for man, and that'll just on the tough days that. When you're doing stuff that you don't really care to do, or it's not fun, or going at it with that mindset, we get to take care of his animals and livestock, and when you look at it from that angle, it kind of changes your outlook.
So, like, whenever you go fix this water trough that's messing up right after this podcast.
Yeah,
I'd help you, but I got to edit this. There's a lot of editing I got to do.
you got a big job
I
ahead
got a
of you.
big job.
Willie, you have
This
one?
won't take 5 minutes. You can go out
You have one, Willie?
for 2 hours.
Bible verse? There was one I went, Cole Hatfield is preaching now. So we've been going to the church in Anson. And I saw,
You've been going over there?
I like it a lot. It's a pretty good deal. Let's see if I can remember. It was in Matthew. I want to say it was 6:14 through
Do you wear your hat in that church?
No, I don't. I take it off when I go in.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you want to tell them about that story while I'm looking it up?
Sure.
I don't think you like a lot of my jokes.
There was up here at the Christian Center. It's been a couple months ago now, but we've always been taught
No hats in church.
take
Take your hat off. Yeah.
your hat off, and the traditional, this is how you're supposed to act type deal. And Pete Parker brought the message that day, and he was just talking about how important is that stuff. Like it doesn't have any impact on your relationship with Christ, and so it's small details. Don't look into them. Look past the religion side type of message that we got.
Less into religion, more into your relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not being judgmental towards, somebody
Other
going to
people.
Billy Bob's on Friday night and going out dancing.
Yeah. I'd never go
It doesn't
there.
make you a bad person. And so anyway, he got done with the message, and Willie stands up and puts his hat on there in the sanctuary.
I was about to walk out.
And Brother Pete walked around there to me right when he stepped down, and I said, Pete, is it bad that I'm judging him for putting a hat on right here in church?
And now every time I see him, no matter where I'm at, he'll go,
Tip his hat.
take my hat off.
Take your hat off.
It's just a token of respect.
Don't
So
you
then I
forget
asked,
about it.
where
for
were
you.
we? It was at your parents' house. I think it was Christmas Eve. And I did this to him. He's like, I don't have to take my hat off at my parents' house.
You got that verse?
Yeah. So they were talking, Cole Hatfield was talking about forgiveness. He was talking about him and his wife. I guess they were having some problems. And he was having difficulty forgiving her. And then kind of just hit him that, well, God's forgiven me for everything that I've done. Like, how can I not forgive someone else? And you and I have talked a lot about holding grudges and forgiving people. And Matthew 6:14, it says, for if you forgive others their trespass, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive you of your trespasses. And I think it's just important to forgive and forget. I mean, at the end of the day, those people have moved on. And as far as if you're not going out of your way to be mean to them, it's really not affecting them at all. They don't really care. It's just a weight on your shoulders. And who cares? Get over it. You'll be all right.
So you forgive me?
Oh, I've always forgiven you. I told Tucker about when we were in the video pen this past fall.
Yeah.
And I kept giving you a hard time because I was riding Trump a little bit, and then you were riding Trump, and I was like, you trying to fix everything that I messed up on him? And you just trotted over to me and said, hey, like, it's kind of getting annoying. It's really not that funny. I was like, dang. I was just trying to joke around. Like, I really hope you didn't think I was being serious. I was just trying to give you a hard time. So then
Well, it was kind of funny, like the first 8 times, but
well, there's a lot of your jokes that's funny the first 8 times. I didn't say anything. So then I came up and I was riding Pop-Tart, and I was like, hey, when you go to sell Pop-Tart, can I get a commission? And you're like, well, how about a decommission? I was like, well, last time I said something like that, you got all mad at me. So I'm trying to do the reversal here. But I am getting a commission when you go to sell them, right?
yeah, probably won't be real high.
I'll take what I can
The
get.
percentage might be, but the payout isn't going to be real good.
Ty Fox would take offense to that. Not really. Well, thanks for being on the pod, Lanham. That was fun.
Do you enjoy it? You think you'll do another podcast again soon?
Probably not. Yeah, that was
not?
fun.
Why not?
Nobody wants to hear me.
Oh my gosh, that was loud.
Was that a little loud? Okay. Whatever. I think people want to hear you. It's tough winning all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just winning.
living in Tucker's shadow.
It's hard. I know how you feel.
You heard Bob Tallman.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Episode number 22. In the books.
In the book.
22.
I think it's 23.
23.
Maybe it is 22. I don't know. The number's all good again.
Another episode is in the books.
Well, they've been dating for half their life, so I half my life. I don't know numbers very well.
Oh, well, Lanham, you better get to working on that. You better get to working on that dang water trough.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, bye.
Bye, Willie. Till next time.
It's been real. Remember.
It's been real. Yeah, one thing, we love you. Thank you for listening. But don't forget, y'all stay classy.
And ranch on them.
And ranch.
Go to
on 'em.
registeredranching.com to get a really cool hat.
Or a hoodie.
Or a hoodie. It's getting cold out there. You have a hoodie?
Wholesale. March 10th, 11th, and
Or a
12th.
hat? Let me get you a hat.
He's got to pay for it.
You get royalties off this podcast.
Trump's gone tomorrow. I'm going to pay for that hat.
Yeah, we have to do it. Get that next year.
Freaking wired, dude.
All jacked up on ranch.